supposed to be at 750,000. Our cost variance, right? Unfavorable, $122,000, 500. Right? So then we come down here farther, right? Cost variance percent is 17%. Our cost performance index is 85%. Our schedule variance, unfavorable, 47,500. Right? All of this is programmed into the application to drive these earned value management KPIs.
I don't care what I like about this. Okay, if you're rolling this out into an organization that's not familiar with earned value,
Okay.
and it's so easy to get lost in the term, the KPIs.
Yeah, you're right.
Earned value. I mean, and so by having the color code there, if it's red, it's bad.
That's right.
Okay, if it's green, it's good.
That's right.
And so now it helps in terms of it's easier to implement within the organization.
Very good. I appreciate that. Now, I'm going to take you one step farther, Dr. Harper. When I go up here for the portfolio and I click on this red exclamation point, watch this. Everything in the portfolio that's red. Everything that you need to focus on as an executive leading a PMO for immediate attention.
And the reason I bring that out is that I work with Learning Tree International, and I was teaching. They call it business management.
Okay.
And basically, I was teaching earned value to
Okay.
the Veterans Administration, and that was the toughest. Okay, because if we all know about the VA, when they go to the Hill, okay, they always get their funding. Okay, but
Okay.
their project success rate is abysmal.
Yeah.
It's abysmal. And so, the thought pattern was, okay, let's get them to really think about their project as a business, okay, and start using these earned value measures. And so as I'm teaching, and I taught 3 levels, you have the sort of the junior level, the sort of intermediate, and then you have the senior level.
Right.
And, it would seem like, excuse my term, that they got stuck on stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they just couldn't grasp the terms. Okay,
I agree.
And so by having the color code in there, okay, that would have made it a whole lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
A whole lot easier. Now I could have arbitrarily said, well, if it's the negative value, then it's red. Well, I don't know what tool they were using.
Right.
Okay, so what happens is that you bring in the tool and it doesn't do that.
It automatically color codes based upon how you establish your thresholds.
Right.
Right?
And that's
that's the maturity. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you know your organization, you know how good your project managers are, you establish the thresholds.
So the 3 things I said earlier: simplicity,
right?
Yep.
alignment,
Yep.
Alignment, right?
and visibility.
There you go.
And that's really what this is doing.
That's right.
And that's any organization can implement it in a very simple fashion. They can visibly see it, and it's aligned. It shows them alignment. Where is it? How does it align to your projects? And how's your overall portfolio aligned from a budget and from a timeline and from your overall objectives?
Exactly.
And you can get to it through this tool.
That's
That's
right.
the insight piece.
That's right. So now when we take it one step farther, we're just scratching the surface. What you've looked at here is just the balanced scorecard, and this is one of the reports that's integrated within the application. But now I'm going to take you one step farther, right? So now this is where we were at before I clicked on the exclamation point for you, Dr. Harper. So now I'm going to show you the other value add features outside of the balanced scorecard, that what you're looking at here, right? So if I were to go up here and I wanted to get a visual of how the portfolio is performing, I click on this, and it's telling me this is the navigation associated with the Oracle project for the month of September 2014. Okay? So now, if I were to click on this, this is the entire portfolio, right? So I know my baseline costs are green, my actual costs are red, the adjustment for management reserve. So if I were to collapse all of these, This is what's being reported here. Now, you're looking at PMO software amortization expense and you're looking at hardware amortization expense, right? Because I haven't imported that information into the model yet. But, you know, depending on the time frame of the amortization expense, that's going to be another automatic calculation within the application.
I have a not an IT governance question. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, let's say the focus of your IT governance is to assure that your IT investments align to your strategic business objectives.
IT investments aligned to the strategic objective.
Okay.
Roadmap.
Okay. So let's say right now I'm looking on the IT side in terms of my projects and and programs. Okay.
Right.
And I'm hitting budgets and I'm getting all that kind of information. The question is how does that tie to, if I'm the business person, okay, I'm the business enabler, how's that tied to, how can that relationship be connected to whatever their strategic business objective was?
Well, when you start talking about strategic business objectives, you're talking about capital investment KPIs. So you're talking about net present value, internal rate of return. What else do we have? Return on investment, payback period.
EBITDA.
You can customize that within the application. You can customize and tailor that within the application. Because they're more so focused on what's the payback period. Okay, I've just dropped $1 million in this.
Yeah.
How long before this thing's going to recoup my $1 million back?
That decision-making process kind of
That's right.
happened one step before this.
Yeah.
This is, okay, now we decided on which projects. Now, how do we manage those projects?
Yes.
That's right.
And how effectively are we managing those projects? And the strategic alignment really is from the standpoint of, you know, we've got a prioritization. You can weight those projects. So which ones are more important? If you're going to look at, now I've got to use my allocation. Maybe I exceed my reserve. How am I going to prioritize or reprioritize those projects? And from a strategic alignment, this gives you some insight as to where your problems are, and very, very, you know, easy.
Totally different set of KPI metrics.
Exactly. So and so I was saying it's more on the front end, that decision-making process of prioritizing your projects is really where this tool comes in. So.
But to answer your question, Dr. Harper, you can program the application to work on, but you have to understand that you're collecting a different set of variables.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you one thing about the application. You cannot inundate the application with erroneous data and think it's going to give you a value-add summary. That's right. So you can't substitute your project plan in the scorecard. You got to summarize and know concisely what you want to extract out of the scorecard to maximize its value. This is not a substitute for your project plan.
Yeah.
Your project plan is your project plan.
There you go. You said, I don't want to
This
say
is
word
a
like that.
top-down view so that the executive levels in the PMO can understand, regardless of what's being communicated by the project manager, it's a realignment of the performance.
So measuring, monitoring,
Exactly.
and then management.
So what is this done? This is puts you in front of the 8 ball as opposed to reacting to the 8 ball, right? So you're able to address the issues in advance prior than people are interested in job security these days. The messengers of bad news are the first ones to get shot. You guys see 300?
Oh, the movie 300? Yeah.
Movie 300. You know what happened to the messenger, right? They threw the messenger in the pit, right? So the project manager doesn't want to come bearing bad news. We're green, don't worry about it. We're right on track. But, and it may be true, there may be some rationale associated with why he or she may feel that way. But what this does is gives you the capability of, just based upon earned value management KPIs, to assess it on your own. Okay? So now let's look at some other information here.
So Dennis, the information that goes into this is fed from the tools that the business is using to manage the projects? Is that how the data gets in there, or?
Say that again?
You showed the import feature that's importing from
An Excel file, no. I would imagine that, you could integrate it within your in-house application. You're talking like Clarity or MS Project Server or whatever it may be. Primavera, right?
What portal,
Okay.
whatever it is.
Well, from a cost standpoint, like, so SAP has its modules,
Right.
Oracle has its modules.
I can't say yay or nay, but I will tell you, I wouldn't do it, leading a PMO. I wouldn't do it because it's a cost-effective tool.
Yeah, I mean, if it were more of an overall, I mean, if it were a program that's ongoing and I would think from a project perspective that probably extrapolating the data that you want, because you're going to be
I'm putting in
resetting.
Right.
That integration would constantly, you'd be maintaining it anyway, so.
And you have to look at it. I don't think a PMO evaluation tool is something that you look at on a weekly basis. First of all, you don't get financial information except for on a monthly basis, right?
I'm looking at this maybe monthly, quarterly, and depending on what level you're at,
That's right.
So,
And actually, the way that it's set up at the current time is monthly.
yeah.
Okay, so this isn't real time, anytime you just decide to sit down and look at your portfolio?
That's right.
Okay. So
Because you have your map.
Yeah.
This is an assessment on a monthly basis to compare what is being communicated. This is the top level, and the project manager or program manager meeting in the middle of the road to make sure that everybody's in sync on the direction of the project.
So the tool itself is pretty, I mean, it's pretty intuitive, it's pretty